Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Artery gear video. So this is going to be my Shura showcase as well as a quick look at the live 2D skin that I just got. So if you watch my Artery gear video for JP, you'll know that I did have this skin as well on JP. But unfortunately, I benched Shura almost right away when I was playing on JP. However, this time it's going to be a bit different. I actually have Shura as one of my main units at the moment. She is fantastic, and I'll go through her skills. She is known as the jack of all trades but master of none, but I think with the early game she is really good, and of course with unique equipments she'll be even better in tier 0. However, personally I rate her a bit lower than tier 0 just because there are units that do things better than her later on. But I think if you have Shura, definitely do build her. A fantastic pickup all around, and I'll show you in stage waypoint 15-5 as well. So let's take a look at her skills. So her first skill is attack and HP scaling with a probability of inflicting defense down. I think it's fine if you just +4 her so that she gets the highest chance for defense break. And when her Shura mode is active, she is immune to counterattacks. And her second skill is what makes her really strong. Basically, it's another HP scaling with attack scaling damage single target with 100% to inflict defense reduction. And when Shura mode is active, it ignores defense resist. So ideally you want this at +3, but if you are short on the gold SSR skill upgrade tickets, you can keep it +0. This skill is insane. If you don't know, there's a 13% resist always in the game, so there's always a chance you fail to apply the defense reduction. And of course some PvE bosses will have really high resist. And in PvP later on, you'll be stacking resist up to 150, 170 plus. However, with this skill, Shura essentially doesn't have to have any accuracy, and she always gets to apply defense down, which is an insane debuff in the long drawn out battle, which she is going to excel at because of her bruiser status. And her third skill removes all debuffs from this unit and activates Shura mode. Deals damage to, again, attack and HP scaling to a single target, and inflicts attack reduction. And when she takes a hit, she loses 20 energy, and when her energy runs out, she exits the Shura mode. So Shura mode, after using this skill, grants her 30% attack increase and 20% speed increase, which is nuts because you'll see my speed stats later on, and 20% means a lot. And when you activate Shura mode, when turn is over, you lose 15% 15 energy. And yeah, again, Shura mode disabled once the unit turn is over. And I upgraded to +3, so you get the cooldown reduction, so she gets to spam it a bit earlier. And of course, all her skill grants her energy, so 30 energy from S2, 15 energy from S1, and 80 energy from S3. So this is my stats. 22k attack. She's at R0, so no imprints. Her imprint is HP, so she can get really high HP. But she's got 22k attack, HP, 2.1k defense, 187 speed. So I was talking about, you know, with the Shura mode plus 20%, I'm over 200 speed, right? I'm at around 220, I believe. So it's really fast. And the attack is 2.5 and crit damage 208. Ideally, for Shura, I would want like 2.4k attack, 2.4k HP, sorry, 24k HP. Defense is fine, speed is okay, attack a bit higher, 2.8, and crit damage for sure higher, like 250. But I think my Shura is quite well built already. You can see there are golden dots. She is on speed and immunity set. So there are lots of ways to build her. Like I said, she is a jack of all trades. So you can build her speed immunity, which is what I like, because I like that extra speed with the Shura mode to allow her to turn cycle really fast. You can build her immunity with crit damage or attack if you're going for a super offensive one. I've seen also counterattacks or repost with immunity just to get that S1 off. Hoping for that energy gain fast plus the defense break. But this is my build. Personally, I like her a bit fast with speed and immunity. Even though her S3 cleanses all debuffs, I like immunity just because sometimes if you get opened on, for example, Milvis, a defense down freeze means you're dead. You're not going to get your S3 off. And I have her quite tanky versus, you know, some of the other builds where she will have more damage but less defense, more HP. That's only because I use her in PvP, and PvP right now is cleave, so your Shura needs to survive the cleave coming out from either Ruri or Milvis, or she's not going to get a turn. So this is my Shura build, and I've got the Shura skin as well. So let's take her to a showcase battle in waypoint 15-5. So I essentially waited to clear this because I knew I was going to clear it, and then I realized that I probably should do this on a showcase video. So I'm just going to swap some gear. So this is my team for 15-5. I think the two cores in your waypoint clears will be a Morris and your Alice, because Alice enables either the Morris or the damage dealer. And then for those two, your DPS unit, it really depends on what the boss is. You can use Shura, and Shura is fantastic in this game mode because bruisers generally do well because they can survive and dish out a lot of damage in this long drawn-out fight versus you know, like Ruri, who is just going to go use her attacks and that's it. But let me break it down to you for my 15-5 team. So I've got Alice pushing Ruri. So Ruri, with her stats, she's able to S3, S2 and just kill off the ads, so I don't have to deal with the ads at all. And that's it. Ruri's job is done, basically. She doesn't need to do anything, and she dies to the Pavel. So after that is basically the Shura show. So what Shura will do is essentially start going ham on Pavel. So going into S2, S3, S1, all that jazz. And of course, you should note that my Shura only has 85% crit. You can push it to 100, but I personally went with 85 just because it's, I think, the minimum and the ideal stat for a bruiser, because then it allows you to have a lot more substats elsewhere. Plus, the good thing about this is that it means she'll always crit on a unit she has elemental advantage on, right? And now I just have Alice going into Shura with the S2 push, and then Shura essentially with the Shura mode and attack buff will do a lot of damage. And then for my Morris, she just needs to cycle S2, S3 on herself to keep the team alive. That's her only job, and that's it. I think it's quite straightforward, and I don't even have to use S3 here. And the turn cycle is really fast. You can see when Shura is under Shura mode, and of course Alice boosting just makes everything even faster. Okay, so Morris was cleansed, the defense down. So yeah, very straightforward. And then Shura go again. So you can, if you have extra, max S2 and your S3 priority, just because that first hit really does do a lot of damage. But yeah, very stable run. There's really no room for, you know, anything bad to happen, because again, Morris will cycle and Morris will heal and remove debuffs, and Shura pretty much gives 100% uptime on the defense without defense down, without having to worry about accuracy or resist, just because of the Shura mode. But yeah, that's essentially it. And of course, we let Shura finish with the S1, a fitting end to complete the waypoint. So that is my Shura showcase. Hopefully, oh yeah, nice. It's my first time completing it. I kind of put it off, but yeah, I should have done this way earlier. But at least I got it done before the reset. But it will go to 14.1, so I might not do it again. Just one time clear is enough. But sure, definitely a fantastic unit. Personally, for me, I do want to use her a bit more compared to my JP runs. But don't worry if you don't have her. I think she gets her unique equipment and will have a rerun, so it's actually a very good time to pick her up then. But if you do have her, do build her. There's a saying basically is, when in doubt, take Shura out. She is definitely worth it. And yeah, hopefully this video is helpful, showcase my build, and give you some ideas on how to build Shura properly at various content, either for surviving cleaving PvP or doing PvE. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.